you want to play in the Olympics, and that included this year, but is there something to be said for a little bit of a break? It seems like you've been working pretty hard since the college season started way back in the fall.
For sure. I think it'll be really good for myself and my body. Obviously I would love to be at the Olympics, and that's something I can work for and, hopefully achieve one day. It gives you some motivation to want to be there. But yeah, I think it'll be definitely good. I feel like I've been nonstop go since like probably September of last year. So almost you're getting close to like a full year of just playing basketball nonstop. So it'll probably be a little weird for me not playing games. But I think it's definitely be good for my body. And then additionally, like we have time for us to like practice and really work on things that we need to work on going into the last 15 games or so of the season, however many it is, that are really important for us too. Yeah, I think, taking a week probably to kind of do whatever I want to do. And I told Christy, I was like, it's probably going to feel really weird. Like I feel probably I'm going to be like anxious that I'm not touching a basketball, but like I need to not. I think it'll be really good. And then obviously get back to Indianapolis and really just be there training for 3 weeks with the team, and then try to do a bunch of stuff on my own, basketball wise and then strength wise. Really just take advantage of every opportunity that I have.
You feel mentally and physically, you feel great, or
Honestly, I feel pretty good. I think the beginning of the season was probably the most difficult for me, just the adjustment of, first of all, playing in this league, and then second of all, the schedule that we had of, playing a game, having a day off, playing a game. Like there wasn't much time to really practice and learn my team. And I think once we really kind of got into a flow and got a few wins under our belt and had a little more practice time, things have kind of settled and flowed a little better. So I feel like I'm definitely trying to, feel like my feet are definitely getting under me more and starting to build more and more confidence. And, I think the more time I have to really work with my team and, work individually on things that I want to get better at too over the course of the next few weeks will only give me more confidence too.
Speaking as a whole, the progress that you guys have had in your recent 20 games, what do you credit that to in the success you guys have had as of late?
Yeah, I think, once a team can get a few wins under their belt, they can start building confidence. I think that's certainly helped us. I think obviously our schedule has slowed down a little bit of like, a game, and we have a few days in between. We're having an off day here and there, a little more of a normal basketball schedule. And, we're also just a young group. So it's going to take time for us to really understand how to play with one another, to learn our teammates. And, obviously AB and I are like in our first and second years. So just learning one another. And I think that comes with game experience. And you're seeing that the more we're out there actually playing in games together, you can really tell our chemistry is still building. And I feel like we're kind of just scratching the surface, and there's so many areas that we can still continue to improve. And at times we show glimpses where we're really, really good. And then at times we, aren't all connected for four quarters. So I think it's continuing to find a way to put 4 quarters together.
On and off. That's how much you believe or maybe hope it's more than just a moment of time for the WNBA. Part of them.
Yeah, I definitely think it's that. And I obviously I think it's much more than just women's basketball. I think you look across the board at all, women's sports, and people are really, invested in it and show up for it. And that's only going to grow. Not only women's basketball, obviously women's basketball has kind of been at the forefront of all of it. And for good reason, as it should, across the board, whether it's college women's basketball or the WNBA, like it's been really, really good. The talent level has been really good. But you look at soccer, you look at softball, you look at, whatever sport it is, and it just continues to grow. The numbers continue to grow. And for me, as somebody that's like grown up playing a bunch of different sports and supporting a bunch of different sports, like that's the coolest part it is for myself. So I try to soak it in and enjoy it. And I definitely think it's more so a movement than a moment, 100%.
I love something.
Okay, when who's playing good ball, is it easy to get your shot going?
Yeah, I mean, I think Aliyah's been really good over the course of the last however many games. Like she's just been absolutely dominant. And I think that is because of how we've kind of tried to understand to play with each other. And that was going to take time. It wasn't always perfect at first. But when we can get going in transition, and our pick and roll is really good, and she's finishing around the basket, people kind of have to pick and choose what you're going to take away, especially in the pick and roll. When you have her rolling to the basket, there's only so many options you can do. So I think for us, like the more we play together, the better it's going to get. But I'm super proud of her. I think she still has so much room to improve. Like she's going to be so good, and like she's just scratching the surface. So I'm really excited about it.
Got 2 more go.
And with NaLyssa Smith on the other side of that, kind of like you described this season, the slow progression, it seems like she's battled some things, but kind of coming into her own with how you guys are.
Yeah, this is really good. I think, she can just do so many different things offensively. I think she's just so athletic. I always try to look for her when she's running the floor. So I think, you know, when we have multiple people in double figures, that's when you see us really have success, whether it's 5 players, whether it's 4 players. That means we're sharing the ball, we're moving the ball. That's really hard to guard. The defense struggles in what to take away. So I think Lyssa's been really good as well.
Got a last one, Matt on Zoom.
Hi, Caitlin. Obviously, you guys are focused on getting a win right before the Olympic break. Was just curious if the league has reached out to you at all about the 3-point contest.
Yeah, I don't know. My focus is on this game tonight, and then we'll turn to All-Star, and then after that, but need to be Dallas. So
What have you seen out of Lexie this year and talk about just getting her back in the starting 5 and what you've seen from her and how that's helped the team? Been back in.
Yeah, you know, she's just consistent with her effort and her, she's always just active. You know, that's just a trait of hers that just is so, like in basketball, like she just never stops. I mean, she's going to get deflections, she's going to get steals, she's going to draw the best defender. And she's just consistent with her role. And, you know, I know she didn't get the playing time that she wanted earlier, but like she just kept working and kept working. And when her number was called, she's just been really, really big for us lately.
I wonder, if a break might not be bad for her. It seems like she's been pushing pretty hard since the college season started way back last fall, and what you thought that might be done before.
Yeah, I'm loving that she's going to get a breather and get some rest, you know, just for our push after this Olympic break. I think it's just great for her. I mean, she's just been going so hard for, you know, quite some time now. And I think it's just going to help her so much just to kind of decompress. And then we'll get a lot of good practice in over these next few weeks and then try to finish up, you know, as strong as we can in the second half.
And things start of all this to now.
Yeah, I think, you know, that's just, it's just something that takes time. You know, a new team, you know, started this rebuild last year and just having the opportunity to come together. Now we bring in a new point guard, one that has her hand, you know, the ball in her hands a lot more than the point guard last year that started for us. And so, you know, just having 5 practices before we had to come here and play a preseason game in front of a packed house, you know, like it's just been pretty consistent with them getting reps on the court. And it just, you can see their chemistry just getting better. You know, it's just part of the game and it just takes time.
The attention that her. How do you think both?
I mean, they're helping their teams be better. Like they make their teams better. They make their teams, you know, just the star power that these guys have. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, these guys are bringing in, you know, a new group, a new fan base. You know, they've made it exciting. Like it's just, this is a tough league and both of them have come into it and they've taken some hits and all rookies come into this. And, you know, people are trying to show, hey, we've been here a while, but these guys have just held strong and they both have played good basketball.
Coach, of all the hoopla, what are you most proud of? The exhibition.
Yeah.
What are you most proud of? This team has progressed and handled the atmosphere that you guys have had to handle every place.
Yeah. The word, you know, resiliency is the word. It's just what these guys have endured from, you know, 1 and 8, right? That start, you know, the best teams in the league, early back-to-backs. It was just tough. And it was tough on them. It was tough on all of us. And just trying to, with the expectations, that made it, you know, that was even another game changer. So just that they kept showing up. They kept showing up, trying to get better, even when we couldn't practice. You know, it was in video, you know, and so just the resiliency that they've shown. I'm just so proud of them for that. And, you know, I don't think a lot of people would have thought we'd be sitting right here, you know, 11-14 right now. Within, you know, we won 5 at this time last year, I think. So just keep getting better. You know, that's all we keep preaching to them. Just keep getting better.
Coach, to piggyback off of your, you know, staying consistent with the power rankings. What are your expectations besides, you know, the more practice and chemistry build up after the Olympic break? What are your expectations going into that postseason, maybe possibly playoffs?
We're just going to keep talking about regular season right now. That word makes me. That's our goal, though. Playoffs is our goal. That's been our goal. We think we have the, that we feel like we can be at our best basketball when it's time, when that time comes at the end of the regular season. But just the time that we're going to get to spend, that's going to help, chemistry wise, like this is when they'll get to practice and spend some time together, not just on the road. Cause like when you're on the road, you're in your room, so they'll get some time, but also we'll get to do some things differently. We'll have time to implement new stuff. We'll have time to tweak things, add things, and that's exciting because, we see what we have out there and what we can do. And then just to find a way to make it better. And then, like I said, just get better every day at practice. Whatever that looks like, whether that's an individual workout or a team practice.
You have 11 of 12 like kind of in town for not in Paris. Basically, just what have all of them there be able to work on.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. It's huge to have your whole team. I mean, there was one time, before the season started where I thought we would possibly have Christie 2 or 3. Really happy for Christie Wallace, though. Like Christie Wallace is living a dream right now, going to go get to play with the Opals. But yeah, just to have 11 of our 12 there to practice and to grow and get better, it's just going to be it's just a great opportunity for us.
You got 2 on Zoom, Scott and Tony. Scott and Stark.
Yeah, Christie, how do you personally think it'll be most beneficial for you to have this time off and to get refreshed after all you've been through in the last three months? And then what will you prioritize for the team?
Yeah, I think we're all needing just to take a step back and catch our breath, catch up on some sleep. I'm looking forward to just being able to sleep in and drink coffee at like 8:30, 9 o'clock and just able to just decompress a little bit. These guys, myself, our staff, we've just been through more than just more than we expected. And they've handled it extremely well. Just going forward with practice, what do I expect? I expect these guys, we have to keep it interesting. It's a long time before we play our next game. So when you're into these practices and there's not a game to play, you've got to find a way to make it creative. And so we've been meeting about that and looking forward to getting them in the gym and making it as creative as possible to get better.
Tony, last one.
Yeah, Christie, I'm curious if in any way, in the last couple of weeks, beating Phoenix twice, New York, Minnesota, some good teams, has changed the feeling and tenor around your team compared to some of your earlier season wins.
Yeah, I think it's different when you beat those guys. I mean, those are the top teams in the league. That's who we're striving to be. So just to be able to put 3-4 quarters together and get those wins against top teams, that just gives you another boost of confidence. And so you just take what you can from those wins and figure out in those times where we weren't at our best during those moments so that we can, keep closing the gap.